Well, here it is. The fastest drive currently on the market. At least for us consumers. Can't get nothing faster. Not currently. Not that I'm aware of. This is it. So I got this on sale. It was a little bit of an impulse buy. I could kind of justify it because when I replace the main drive in the PC this thing's going to be installed in, I'm going to swap that drive into another PC. So I'm technically upgrading two PCs with one rather expensive SSD here. Now, what I want to know, because primarily what I do is AI, upscaling, video rendering, that sort of thing. Will I see any kind of a real world improvement with this? Because this is for creators and people doing what I'm trying to do, supposedly. But so is the drive that I currently have installed. I'm using a Samsung 990 Pro. Will this net gain me anything? I mean, anything at all? Will I actually see a difference? Well, we're going to find out. Rather than just, throwing arbitrary, meaningless, synthetic numbers at you, I'm going to show a little bit before and after with the actual work that I'm doing. So we'll be able to see real-world data-wise. Doesn't make any difference. So I don't know, but I'm curious. Anyway, this does come with its own cloning software. You get a Cronus cloning software. It's free. You got to go to the website and download it. And they got their own drive tools or SSD tools software kit, which I haven't looked at yet. But I'll install that and we'll go over that once I get there. And then the drive, nothing to really show and tell there, and a little bit of paperwork. That's it. That's what you get. All right, let's go take a look at the desktop that this thing's going to live in and get it installed. All right, here's my since removed main workhorse. I keep it in a separate room, isolated, because when this thing's working its ass off, my God, does it get hot. I put it in a separate room, so I only got to deal with that one room to climate control. Rather, this thing will heat up a room. It's no joke. Much better now since I got the new microcode installed from Intel. But anyway, give you an idea of what we're looking at here. We got a i9-13900K for our main CPU, and then our GPU is liquid cooled. That's a 4090 MSI 4090 using a MSI Carbon motherboard, 96 gigs of RAM. I'll put all the parts and whatnot, down there in the description for those of you that care. Anyway, I got to pull the graphics card out and yeah, get to what's behind, because that's where my SSDs are located. Just thought I'd give you a quick one-time shot of her and get into it. All right, here is one test clip that I've decided to quickly upscale, render out. I cut it to 5 minutes, but it has already been rendering for almost 7 minutes now, and it's not going to go any faster or slower than that. We're doing between 12.9 and like 13.1, 13.2 frames a second. So yeah, that is how fast or how slow this program operates with the Samsung 990 Pro. Now we'll go install the new T705 and see if we pick up a frame or two. Or a tenth of one. Hell, if I can get 1/10, I'll be happy. But we'll find out, huh? Yeah, now got the graphics card out of the way. Got down to the meat and taters of it, and I have a decision to make, I guess. I forgot I have 5 M2 slots available, and I have 4 of them currently populated. The plan is to remove my 1 terabyte drive, which is that Western Digital right down there, and throw that guy into my laptop, which only has a 512 in it currently. So we'll double the capacity as well as at least double the speed, because the drive that's in that thing is god-awful slow. And then I was going to put the Gen 5 in where that 990 is right there. I have a Solidigm, Solidigm, I'll never say it correctly. under there, and 990 Pro there, and well, as you can see, I have an available slot. Do I get another drive for the laptop, or do I continue on with my original plan and make the swap? I'm not sure, but I cloned my Gen 5 drive, which is in this Ugreen enclosure. If you're going to do like I did, you got to have a high quality enclosure, because this thing got hot, and it's all aluminum. The entire thing is one giant heat sink, and it still got hot. So if you're doing, you know, this way, if you're going to clone your drive externally in an enclosure, make sure it's a good one, because yeah, this boy runs a little toasty. Anyway, that's what I'm down to. I got to make a decision now, and I'll let you know what I decide later. All right, here's the well, second round of the same thing with the brand new drive installed, and yeah, it's pretty much exactly as I expected. No difference at all. Still seeing the same numbers here. 12.9 to 13.2, dancing in that range. It's holding pretty steady between 13 and 13.1, but you know, it's still running in the same range as before. So I can't say I gained anything, but I'm sure that I didn't lose anything either. Did it make a difference to my actual workload? That's going to be a hard no. The system might feel a little snappier, like opening programs. I think I did. Well, it could be a placebo. I don't know, because the drive's expensive. You want it to be something that it ain't. You know what I mean? But I mean, this computer's already so damn fast. It's debatable whether anybody could notice, you know, a couple extra megabytes a second or whatever. It's highly debatable whether I can actually notice it. But yeah, by the seat of my pants kind of a feel, I think it's a little snappier, just opening and closing some things. But yeah. All right, I wanted to literally hand hold a camera and record this, because I didn't want to run a screen capture program, because that puts an extra load on the system. I wanted to do apples to apples, and I think we've done that now. Now I will go to a screen recorder, and we'll finish this video off. Well, I guess first thing is first. Let's get the arbitrary, meaningless, synthetic crap out of the way. Is one drive faster than the other? Yeah, let's see if I can get these both on screen. Crap. Maybe side by side. Crying out loud. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the shorter answer is hell yeah. I mean, this guy's hitting the numbers, right? There ain't nothing to argue with there. This is what the Samsung drive did, and this is naturally what the Crucial drive is doing. It is twice as fast. I mean, by the numbers, it's just, boy, this thing's moving. What do these numbers equate to, though, in real life? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to test. So let's get this stuff out of the way. What I want to do here, I mean, I created a test file here, and what's in HAL is a bunch of videos and one zip file. And it's a good amount of data, 314 gigabytes worth. What I want to do is, I'm going to bring up hardware info. I'm going to come down HAL and find this drive. I want to move a bunch of data, see what we can sustain in terms of copying speed, and then also take a look at our temperatures during that copying process. How hot does the drive get? Looking for it. It is in here. There we are. Drive temperature right there. Let's reset the clock so everything is at its current temperature, which is 115 degrees. I don't do C. I can't relate to it, so here, for crying out loud, because I always have to do it. I can't do it in my head. Yeah, 115. 46C for you guys that live on Celsius. I can't do it, so, you know, there you go. Anyway, what I want to do is I want to copy this file. We'll just copy it to my downloads folder. Let's do that, huh? And blammo. Now, this window I can't recall later, so I figured we'll just screen record it, do it all live. We'll do it live, and watch these temperatures. We're up to 124. Now, you've seen my motherboard. It's the MSI Carbon motherboard. That's got some pretty kick-ass heat sinks on it. It will extract heat from both sides of the drive. So, yeah, I mean, this clearly ain't going to take very long. That's a ton of freaking data of varying types. Mostly video, but, like a zip file is going to work a little different. Even though it's a video zip, it's still a zip file, and that's going to work a little different. That's why you're going to see some change in here up on screen. Certain files just move at different speeds. They just do. I don't quite understand it myself, but this is the reality of the situation. So sustained speed, we're holding like 2.6 gigabytes a second. You know, that's pretty much our lows. That is freaking moving some data, boys and girls. That's quick. Now, I don't know what the Samsung 990 Pro drive would do in this regard. I honestly, I expect exactly the same. I don't think it would be any faster or slower. But, you know, this is a good test. I wanted to, hammer the drive a bit and look at these temperatures. And look at these temperatures. 129 is current, and our peak, it spiked to 133. You know, whoop-de-doo, right? That's not hot. Now, that's a lot of data. Who's going to move more data than that? Unless you're copying a game. I mean, I guess some games are bigger, but, real-world tests, real-world data, the real kind of stuff that I'm really moving, that's, that's about the biggest thing I would ever throw around from one drive to another. And you see what I see. Temperatures were good. The sustained reads, or the sustained writes were, awesome. I got no problem with that. All right, so that's a temperature test. I don't need that guy anymore. And now I can delete this. Yes, delete it. Yes, it's too big, I know. It's a big-ass file. All right, don't need that window anymore either. Now, this drive does come with its own software, and we'll just fire that up so you can take a look at it quick. It's got some unique features, I guess. Yeah, it took a second, but you can obviously update your firmware. You can look at the smart data, but I do like the fact that this incorporates pretty nicely with all of my other drives. A lot of these manufacturer type software interfaces will only interface with the specific manufacturer's drive. I think that's ridiculous. They can all, every piece of software that does this basic thing should be able to access all smart data from all drives, period. And that's exactly what this guy does. I can look at all of my drives, see basic smart information, which is what all these software packages do. That's the main thing that they're all about. You just look at smart data, you can do firmware updates, you can do a bunch of other things over here. But one thing I want to point out is this momentum cache. This is supposed to potentially increase your overall performance and speed. What does it do with momentum cache enabled? So let's enable that, and I'll do that off camera here, get it enabled, and then we'll run another video test. All right, I found this terribly interesting and quite annoying. In fact, exact same thing, but with the momentum cache enabled, it is slower by about a half a frame. Well, there it just jumped. Now it's going to make a liar out of me. Press record and it jumps. It was doing 12.5 to 12.6. And before I was averaging, 13, 13.2 in that ballparkish. Now it's, settling back down again. But it's slower. We'll compare the actual total time between the old drive, the new drive, and then the new drive with the momentum cache enabled. But this is slower. In real world workloads, this is literally slower. Half a frame a second slower is a big difference in time. I mean, that equates to hours worth of render time on something like this. Seriously, a half a frame a second don't sound like much, but it is significant on these longer renders. All right, we'll do a comparison then, because I think this is the last little bit of data that I need. All right, now this is what it did without the momentum cache enabled, just in default state. And then this is what it did with the momentum cache enabled. There is quite a difference here, and not in a good way. What we mostly picked up here was the Q1 T1 depth variation there. That gained some speed, but otherwise we lost. I mean, it was a net loss. And it showed in real world testing, right? All right, so that's the synthetic stuff. All right, now here in total render time, doing the exact same video the exact same way, the difference between the Samsung 990 Pro and this crucial T705 is 1 second. It's 1 second. That is margin of error. That is zero difference. I mean, it could swing if I ran the exact same test the exact same way again and again and again. These numbers might literally just flop. There could easily be, a 1 second variation worth of, error between any test. I mean, that's just nothing. That's nothing. That's what that is. Look at what happens though in total time once I enable that momentum cache. And blammo. That is slower. That is significantly slower. That's real world data, matter of fact, slower. My system runs slower with momentum cache enabled. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that one. Let the data speak for itself there. I'm certainly not going to have it enabled because, well, it slows me down. The idea is to go faster, not slower. So, I mean, I saw the same basic thing with the Samsung, whatever. They got the same goofy crap, some sort of thing in their software that can speed up cache, and it does the same thing. It doesn't work, is basically what it breaks down to. It doesn't make anything better. It's ultimately just slows me down. So the crucial T705, what did it do for me? Drained my wallet a little bit, my bank account. Did it net gain me anything? I don't think so. Not that I can measure. I mean, yeah, it's synthetic-wise, but not in the real world. It didn't make any difference. Again, I could justify the splurge on this purchase here because I'm literally upgrading two PCs with one drive. And I did decide that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with my original plan. I'm going to take that 1 terabyte Western Digital drive and put it in my laptop. And yeah, just do like that. If you're going to do like I did and clone yours with an external USB drive, I don't think Acronis software can do that. At least it didn't in the past when I tried to use it. I used Mini Tools Partition Wizard. That's what I used to clone my drive with, and it doesn't care. If it can read the drive, it'll write to it. You know what I mean? Acronis, the free stuff, got fussy the last time I tried to use it, and it wouldn't work with a USB drive, and I'm just not putting up with that crap. Just do the thing I tell you to do and leave me the hell alone. Okay, that's where I'm at. Mini Tools did that for me. Acronis didn't. So pick your poison there. Acronis is free. Mini Tools is not. But if you're going to clone yours externally like I did, make sure that you have a good, high quality, like this Ugreen USB drive. Something that's all aluminum, because this guy will cook. I mean, it got toasty. I mean, to the feel. I didn't actually measure it, but just by touch and feel in my palm of my hand, this thing was getting hot. And I'm glad I had a full aluminum enclosure, and I even stuck a fan on it at one point because I was a little concerned. This drive does heat up. Now, you've seen my motherboard, right? I've got this MSI Carbon. That's got some massive heat sinks on it, and it does not get hot in this. So, you get if you don't have good adequate cooling on your board, if you don't have a high-end board like this one, then you are going to have to consider external cooling like this. I'll put links to literally everything I'm showing here down there in the description as usual. Make your shopping trip a little easier. At least you got a starting point. You can just click a link and get to the point, and then you make your decision after that. That's up to you. But yeah, I highly recommend a cooler like this or something just like it, because this thing is going to cook. It runs a little toasty. This is one of the most powerful drives on the market, power-hungry drives on the market, I should say. It'll draw, I believe, 11 watts at peak, and that's up there. Most of them are between 8 and 9, on the high end. But no, this is a couple of watts more than that. Now, newer generation of Gen 5 drives, the newer version, I should say, of the 5th gen, there's some cool stuff coming, but it ain't here yet, and it won't be here for a while. When it finally gets here, it's going to be stupid expensive. So, I could justify the cost on this because, like I said, I was upgrading 2 PCs for the price of one at $239. It's a pill I was willing to swallow. On a 0 to 10, because stars are for restaurants, and we don't do stars around here. On a proper numerical scale, from 0 to 10, where would I rate it? It does everything it claimed it was going to do, aside from the momentum cache, which literally did the opposite of what it claimed it could do. I mean, it made bigger numbers synthetically, but in real world, it just slowed me down. So, take that into account for whatever it is or whatever it's worth. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9, I guess. I mean, it does exactly what I expected. I didn't net gain anything. I didn't net lose anything. A little bit of money. But like I said, I've upgraded 2 PCs for that cost. So, it's a 9. It's a 9 from me. I like it. I'm fine with it, And now I got that direct storage capability, which I do believe the Samsung 990 Pros also have. But this is infinitely fast. I mean, literally twice as fast as a 990 Pro. So once things and stuff, stuff that I care about, like video editing type software, once that stuff finally starts to use this direct storage, maybe the game will change a little bit. I know certain games use the direct storage, and it just makes loading games and whatnot a whole bunch faster. But for me and my actual real world workload, yeah, nothing that I'm aware of is currently using that tech. But this drive is capable of it. Hopefully, software vendors get up to speed in that regard. All right, so I'm going to wrap her up right here. That's about all the show and tell I wanted to show and tell. Now, you know the drill. Do the thumbs, the likes, the subscribes, all that bell whistle, all that noise. You know all about that. And hey, guys, thanks for hanging out. We're going to see you in the next one. All right, cheers.